And welcome to another benefit of the Doud review. I am your host, Adam Doud, flailing at the mute button for Skippy the webcam as I make my introduction. And joining me, as always, is Cliff Thomas. Cliff, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Glad to be hanging out once again with hipster Adam.
Hell yeah, hipster Adam is in the hizzy. That's what the hipsters say, right? I feel like I'm 2 seconds away from going and sleeping in a tent on Wall Street.
I don't know. You're looking pretty Rizzy or Riz right now with your.
Oh, really? Riz?
Yeah. You're
That's a
looking really,
thing.
Yeah.
Huh?
For the Gen. It's not even Gen Z. I guess it's Gen Z. Yeah.
Yeah, see, the difference is your daughter still talks to you, so you can learn all these things. I don't. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I literally I get I get the updates from my wife, who is a teacher, so I get to learn all the.
You know what?
How to be the cool dad. That's actually not good. No.
Business idea. I think teachers there should be 1 or 2 teachers that send out a weekly newsletter that talks about what their kids are talking about. So that, other adults can be like, "What is a Rizzler? Oh, okay, that's what that is."
I am registering the Hip Talk Substack right now. We're gonna have a newsletter we put out. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, put out a newsletter, and you get that thing up to once word gets out, you're up to 200 subs easy, or 200,000 subs.
You just have to make sure the kids don't know about it, or they'll start making up stuff just to mess with us.
Right. Well, and I think you could source teachers from different parts of the country.
Yeah, make it make regional news. Oh man, this is a great business idea.
Yeah. Wait, what are we doing here? All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I am here looking rather hipsterish because we are reviewing the Meta Ray-Ban smart glasses. These come from so funny story. When I was at CES, I had an appointment with a company that was doing hearing aids built into eyeglass frames, so that they could be much more unobtrusive. They had statistics that 61% of adults between the ages of 18 and 60 need hearing aids, but they don't use them because there's a stigma and blah blah blah. So they're trying to, and I'm like, speaking as one of those adults who could use a set of hearing aids.
Nice.
I'm interested. So I went over there and they showed them to me, and I'm like, yeah, they're okay. But they're like, hey, have you seen the Meta smart glasses? I'm like, oh, you know what? I saw them at Snapdragon Summit, but I never got a chance to get my hands on one. They're like, oh, you want to come try it? Because what I didn't know was the parent company of this company that was doing the sunglass, Nuance was the name of the company. Their parent company is Elixir Lexotica, I think is the name, and they are the parent company of Ray-Ban. So that's why they had these, and they're like, hey, which ones do you want? I'm like, okay, cool. So, hey, here we are.
And this sounds like a casino in Las Vegas.
Right, it kind of did, but yeah, I was interested in the stuff, and I think they're going to have some good stuff coming from Nuance. We'll probably talk about that later in the year, but for now, we are talking Meta sunglasses. And by the way, say cheese. That's right.
Nice.
I just took a picture. Yeah,
I'm probably
yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's the kind of what these do. These have a camera which is built into here. I think actually, wait, whichever side lights up, it's the other side that has the camera. And then the other side has the the LED interface to say, hey, I'm about to take a picture, or now I'm capturing a video. And so you can see, and hey, this is a nice behind the scenes look of the making of the benefit of the Doud podcast. And you can, and the viewers can see that I can't see Cliff's face because that's where my webcam is. Because when I'm talking, I like to make a direct eye to eye connection. And they can also see my totally jury rigged mid monitor webcam mount that I built.
Hey, we just do what we can to make the the best product for you guys, even if you can't he can't see the loveliness that is my face. But I mean, actually, if you're
Right.
talking inside baseball real quick, one of the things we did discuss, I'm like, how can we make this interesting, was to, possibly live stream some of this via your glasses to Instagram. And then
Hmm.
think about the fact that you wouldn't be able to hear my dulcet tones because it would just be your
Right.
audio. And that's not really good TV.
And I
So
mean, at the end of the day, if you can't hear Cliff, really, what are we even doing?
it's true.
That's what it was. And hey, my 1 minute just elapsed. So when you are shooting video, you can take photos, you can shoot video up to 1 minute at a time, or like Cliff talked about, you can actually stream live to Instagram for up to 30 minutes
Oh,
if you so choose. There unfortunately is no way to just flat out use these as a straight up like overhead cam, because we've got, actually, let me take a picture. That's a picture of Skippy the webcam that I just took. Would it be better if I could just look down and hey, here's the product that I'm looking at? Maybe, but you can't do that yet. But as I told Cliff off air, I would not be surprised if within 6 months someone has hacked away to
right.
allow you to stream your meta glasses to any platform you
The
want.
first thing I wonder when I think about streaming, though, is I mean, if you're using a phone and you're streaming, or if you're doing a long amount of video, it gets warm. So do your glasses get warm if you use the streaming video for any amount of time, or even if you're just recording it locally?
Not if you're recording locally, and I haven't streamed I haven't streamed anything to Instagram yet, because honestly, I haven't done anything that's stream worthy since I got home from CES. Now, I am going to MWC at the end of next month. So, will there be some Instagram streaming? Very possibly. Although I think that might actually run into my T-Mobile data cap.
'Cause I just picture like someone like doing an interview, and all of a sudden you see like smoke starting to come from their temples, like ah.
So, like, I mean, I would think that they're going to be streaming the picture to your phone, which is then going to be streaming it up. So I really think the phone's kind of doing the heavy lifting in that particular
Okay.
case. This is just going to be a Bluetooth stream, or actually probably a Wi-Fi stream. I'm actually not sure how it works. What I do know, and this would be a good time to bring up Mr. Skippy, so that we can
Yeah.
show off what's going on in the app, because there is an app associated with this, and I have to put in my password on my iPhone. So we're not going to bring up Skippy just yet.
So when you
Um,
sign in, are you using the same credentials that you use for any of your other meta stuff?
oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So you sign in with the same credentials. I'll show you the app. Let's go ahead and bring up Mr. Skippy. So this is the app here. It's called MetaView. And so when you go in here, they've got kind of a learn and explore section, and then this is all the media that you've captured. Now, this is I had a I had a bit of an issue with the glasses about a week ago.
Mhm.
So I don't have any older media. However, fortunately, I did export all of the media to my phone before I had to reboot it. So, and then I took that stuff from the phone and I uploaded it to Google Cloud. But anyway, as you can see in the app up here, it says up here there's 7 media found. So there's new things to import. So I can hit the import button. And then in order to do that, it actually makes a Wi-Fi connection to your phone to transfer
Oh,
the
okay.
photos, which I think is, I don't know, not great. I kind of think, because now it's going to pull my phone off of my home Wi-Fi in order to transfer the photos.
Well,
And
I think if you're,
yeah,
ideally, if you're like out and about, then it's not such a big
yeah.
deal.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I just kind of think Bluetooth is probably a better way to go, especially if you could do something with the background. And now it's actually not even
Bluetooth is just
connect.
so slow, even with the latest versions compared to Wi-Fi. I mean, and
Yeah, I
I think
know.
I would prefer Wi-Fi just because it's gonna dump all that stuff over there, especially if you're doing streaming. Like, you definitely want a Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah, and so
It's even though this is a
to
little more power hungry, I guess. But
now I'm trying to join. Okay, there we go. So it took a minute to join, but then you can see it kind of like spit out all the new
gotcha.
um the new stuff here. and it's taking a while to download because one of those was a minute-long video, so that's going to be larger, of course. But anyway, so basically what this does is it dumps it into your photo roll, and then you can share it out to like Instagram or whatever you wear. Now, the one nice thing about this is because there is a tight integration in between the glasses and Instagram, which we'll show you in just a moment. But since this app is treating all of this media as individual files, it's actually possible to import all your media. It goes into your photo roll, and then you could actually upload it to other platforms if you want. So I could do like a minute-long TikTok, or I could do a minute-long YouTube short or something like that if I wanted to with the glasses. In fact, earlier this week, I was it this week? I don't even know. Time has no meaning. Earlier this week, I posted a video of me showing off the OnePlus 12 in the car while my son was driving, which I recorded with the glasses, and that was to YouTube, not to Instagram. So that was kind of cool. Anyway, up in the corner here, you can see there's a little battery indicator showing like what the glasses battery is at, and you have various options in here. You can turn voice on and off, and the one thing that we haven't really talked about yet is the AI integration. So I don't think you're going to be able to hear this, but what I can do is I can take something like this water bottle, and I can say, let me see if find a place to hold this up, and I'm going to try to put my temple near the microphone, so maybe you'll be able to hear it. But I'm going to say, "Hey Meta, look and tell me what I'm holding." So it's thinking.
A brand that offers pure
that's cool.
And sustainable packaging.
So did you hear all that?
Yeah. I mean, it was soft, but you could hear it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and like you can do that, which is, I don't know, I guess fine. There was one other, actually, let me see if I can get it to do it again. But hey Meta, look and tell me what I'm holding. Wait for it.
Holding a smartphone with the screen displaying an image of a person wearing sunglasses.
Except, you see, I'm not Meta.
So here's a question then.
Yeah.
First of all,
it's how useful is that AI? It's not.
Well,
but anyway,
no. What I was going to say is it seems like it's kind of like a light version of what the Rabbit R1, something else that was introduced, or something that was introduced at CES, which is that one little gadget that is able to, in this case, tie into a bunch of different services, but can do things kind of like Google Lens, where it can tell you what something is and give you some information about it. My question is, how useful are these without having your, like, is this something you can take can you just take these out without having your
phone
smartphone
nearby?
On you? Right. Because I know it's got to have local storage since you were able to store media on it.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, let's find out. I'm going to go ahead and pop on airplane mode on my phone.
Obviously, you don't have, these are not like mobile connected as far as like having their own data source.
These connect via Bluetooth. Although now that I turned off Bluetooth, I heard kind of like a blue 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 blue. We're out of here. So, hey Meta, look and tell me what I'm holding.
To continue, make sure Meta View is active and Bluetooth is connected.
Yeah. Okay. So all the processing is done on the phone for that kind of stuff.
Is done on the phone. On the phone or in the cloud.
But you can still take pictures and sort of, and I guess, can you store like music on them locally and kind of use them as headphones while you're out?
I mean, you can use them as headphones, and you can access. I'm actually showing in the app right now. You can access Spotify with just a tap, but Spotify is the only one that it works for. There's no local storage of music, but you can use gestures to increase. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
yeah. I was at maximum. I was at maximum volume, so it wasn't doing. So you can swipe backwards to turn down volume and forwards to turn up the volume.
Okay, so it's got a capacitive strip on there for adjusting stuff on that side.
Yeah, and also you can play and pause your music just by tapping, which is fun. the only thing like that, the glasses don't get loud enough to overpower like a heater in a car. So like I would like the audio to, I think, get louder. Just because, so it's open audio. It's open back audio. So
Is it
you
doing bone conduction, or is it or is it
no,
okay?
it's a beam forming speaker, I believe, is what
Gotcha.
they
Okay.
call it. But so I would like the music to be able to get louder, because I listen to podcasts while I'm driving,
Right.
and
Right.
as long as I have like the heater turned off or maybe set to 1, I can hear it.
Not
But
really an option this time of year for
not
you.
the not an option this time of year. So I would like to see something. I would like to see louder speakers. And then the last thing that I can show you here is this Instagram integration. So if I go into, and see, that's the other thing is like, I would like to, inside Instagram, I would like to, grab a photo from the glasses and like say, I would like to, within the Instagram app, say, take a photo with the glasses,
Right. Oh yeah, that would make a lot of
and
sense.
like, and use Instagram as kind of like a viewfinder, so that you
Hmm.
can kind of see it. But you can't do that. The only thing that you can do
Huh.
directly from Instagram is if you go to live. There's a little glasses icon here, and then you can press that. Double press the and then after that comes up, you have to double press this. And now I'm switched to my glasses camera, and now I can kind of use it as a viewfinder if you see what's going on
Yeah.
here. But like, that's the only circumstances under which you can do that, is with
How's the latency?
a live stream.
We can kind of see it there. That actually
So
looks pretty
yeah,
good.
so if I do that,
Uh.
and so I just got a notification in my ear that said there's a poor connection, and for best results, I should disconnect other Bluetooth devices. So presumably like my Apple Watch or whatever. But
Gotcha.
anyway, so like, that's the only direct Instagram integration, and I think they can take that farther. I
Yeah,
think
I
they
agree.
can, rather than having, and you can have the separate app if you want, to like, download stuff and have different settings for the glasses and stuff like that. That makes total sense. But I just really think there should be tighter integration with the Instagram service.
I think as an idea, these are just so cool. But the more you talk about that aspect of it, I'm like, yeah, especially, I mean, these are made by Meta. So I mean, if you're really into Meta services, I mean, they should be able to integrate so much more into it. So here's this is something we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah.
Just the basic stuff. So these are the Meta Meta smart glasses by Ray-Ban. And what was the style?
The style that I have is the headliner style.
And
they also have a Wayfarer style.
And so then the next thing is just simple stuff like, how much do these cost? Are there multiple options besides the different styles for like capacity or like the local storage and stuff like that?
So how much they cost is $329 for the Wayfarer and $299 for the headliner, which is the one that I have.
Right.
As far as like different configurations are concerned, I do not believe so. However, no, I don't believe they do have different configurations. I mean, the media isn't meant to live on the glasses. It's meant to be transferred to your phone. So I think they can get away with like much less storage space as far as that's concerned. And like, here's the thing, like, and I've said this before. I don't remember if I said it on the air, but I've definitely said it to you. If you could configure these to stream to like YouTube or to any other services, I would have already bought these. I wouldn't have had to wait till CES, because I would have this would have been Skippy. Like, I mean, that's that would have been an easy choice to make. That would have been a very easy call to make. So now I get it, mad respect to Meta, you want these to work best with your platform. Totally get that. And I actually like the fact that you can do like YouTube shorts with these.
Right.
And one thing that I mentioned to you was, I hope to be doing a lot more social stuff with like devices because I have these glasses and I can be like, hey, here's the latest, iPhone 15 Pro and blah 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 blah, and you can't see any of that because I'm using Skippy and I'm not using this as a Skippy the webcam. But anyway, so like if you could do that, that would be really cool. And like I said, this would be an easy buy at $300, especially if you are into like if you're a social media creator
Or
like
if you're
us.
just a gadget nerd. But here's the other thing that
Yeah.
I think we're not really mentioning. The elephant in the room is it's not like these are the first pair of smart glasses that have been out there, going all the way back to
Right.
Google Glass, although these are definitely more, it's definitely not as technically capable in some aspects compared to Google
Right.
Glass. But here's the thing. Those look like almost just look like regular
Oh yeah.
sunglasses. Like even the ones that are competitive out there, I mean, have those like thick.
Well,
I mean, it's a little
they're
thick.
getting smaller. I mean, they're
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
smaller.
But
They're
I'm
not
saying
nearly
these
as bad as
just
they
look
used to be.
right, and that's what I'm saying. Like I honestly, if it wasn't for the little LED on the top of the frame there,
Yeah,
I
you would have
almost
no
wouldn't
idea.
know that those are just regular Ray-Ban sunglasses. And then there's also the style component with them working with
Hmm.
Ray-Ban on this.
Yeah.
And I don't think you've shown off live there the fact that these are also sunglasses. Like they're clear right
Right.
now, but
Right. Well, I'm
they
not
can dim.
outside, but
Also, it's an automatic thing only.
yeah, they're what do they call it? Chromatic
Transitions.
react trend. Yeah, they're transition lenses. They're whatever the technical
Oh,
name is. So they're
okay. So
transition lenses.
it's not like the electrochromatic where you're like pressing a button and it goes dark.
No. No,
Okay.
that would be these. But
So, but
anyway.
here's the other thing then, right? Like, what's cool about these is that if you like you or me, like need glasses, you can get optical glass in them, like that's made like with your prescription.
Mhm.
So they
Yes.
can, yeah. So
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
so
it's really, I mean, 329. If you look at the cost of, sorry, but I mean, if I go and get glasses before all the like the prescriptions, I mean, frames can cost, especially if you
sure.
get like the titanium ones. I mean, are up around that price.
Oh, sure. Like I was, and actually one of my other criticisms, and this is just totally a me thing, but like when I put on glasses, I'm used to being able to read my smartphone, and I can't with these because they don't have
Yeah, yeah.
the cheaters at the bottom of it. But I mean, I have gone to the optometrist to find out how much it would be for like transition lenses with the bifocal at the
Mhm.
bottom, and it's not cheap. But honestly, these are the glasses that have gotten me closest to wanting to actually go do that.
Yeah, I would
So
go.
and that's a big thing. So on the screen right now, I have a picture of me during the day wearing the sunglasses, so you can kind of get a sense as to like how dark they get, which I didn't think was going to be dark enough, but I've worn these on some pretty sunny days, and they do filter out a decent amount of light. So,
I just worry with me because I mean, all you really need them for is the readers. Like I actually, I don't have terrible vision. Like I'm not wearing glasses right now, but
mhm.
I, I do kind of worry about the social stigma. Like, look at that guy wearing his Ray Bans indoors. What is his deal? Oh, he's got, you know, I wear my
Yeah,
sunglasses inside kind of deal, even if they are clear lenses. There might be a little bit of a, oh, he's too cool for school.
yeah. Well,
That's some hip language right there.
yeah. I mean, and yeah, when you go at night, it's definitely there's a hipster element to it. Um, but
Well,
uh,
especially
but I
if you
mean,
got the Wayfarers, I think it would be even more so.
you can see though that they get pretty clear, and like
Yeah,
I'm wearing them now, they're perfectly clear for inside use. So in one way they solve my Target problem, my Target podcast problem. Like I can go to a Target and continue wearing these inside, and it's totally fine.
right, right.
So I'm just gonna scroll through some other photos that we've taken here. This is kind of like a behind the scenes from the podcast.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm really
so
impressed with these for the most part.
yeah. So like inside, this is my daughter, and she wasn't standing perfectly still, and so there is a little bit of motion blur going on here, and you'll see that in some other photos later on. These are just some like daytime photos, and I mean, and you could tell like these are looking, this is at 100% resolution right here. It's very not bad.
Is it like an 8 megapixel camera on it?
Oh shoot, I had that up here and I don't know where it
It may
went.
not be actually looking at that. It may be more like a 4 or 5.
Let
But
me.
still,
Oh shoot.
definitely like social media worthy, you know, in
I
terms
would
of the
say, yeah, they definitely fall into the category of social media good. I'll tell you what, I don't have my keyboard in front of me. You Google what size camera sensor the Meta Ray-Ban glasses have. But anyway, so then a few more shots during the day. During the day, these are actually very solid. Again, inside at night with my daughter and dog, a little bit of motion blur going on here. My dog does have a face, contrary to popular opinion. But once things settle down, it's a little bit better. Still a little bit on the blurry side with indoor lighting, and
Oh.
ignore my messed up couch there.
So
But anyway,
according to Google, in the
okay,
outer corner of each lens is a discrete ultra-wide 12 megapixel camera that produces
12
bold
megapixel.
images and video. I
Okay,
didn't realize that it had a camera in each side.
yeah, it.
So it's blending those together, which is probably why you're not getting such a you're not getting too much of a fisheye
A
effect with them
fisheye
too.
effect. Yeah.
That's cool. That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Yeah. So in this particular camera, so the way this works, and I'll do it again, like up against the microphone, so you can probably hear it. So when I push the button to capture, it kind of like it does a do do do, and then a
Mhm.
And I was
Mhm.
kind of curious as to like where during that process is the photo actually being taken. So as a test, I just kind of did a 1, 2, 3, and that's where. So it
2.
was right
Okay.
about. It was
Huh.
right after about a 2 count after you push the
Right. Right.
button. That's when it's taking the photo. Okay, so then we have some night testing, and I tested this, as you can tell, at the same time as the OnePlus 12. That's my daughter getting. She's paid talent, so she's allowed to be on here. Um, you get some blown out stuff, and you get some motion blur at night. Because it's a challenging area. But as long as your subjects are still, you're not too bad. There's a lot of
A lot
grain
of
in the
compression.
darks.
A lot of
Um,
compression too.
yeah, a lot of grain, a lot of compression. And then, this is just some random shots during the day. That was when one time I asked, look and tell me what I'm holding. And it said, you are looking at a smartphone with apps displayed on the screen. I'm like, no, I am not. So there's work to be done there. And then here's some video testing of the glasses.
Hmm. So it's not a hugely high frame rate, but it's definitely usable.
Right. Oh, definitely. And
And
then
I'm also
at
looking at
night,
I'm looking at this as it's being streamed too, so it may actually be dropping some frames,
that's
in
very possible. That's
translation
very
to
possible.
me. Yeah.
But yeah, so there's that,
Hmm.
and you can
These
see
are
I have
so
set
fun. I
some.
would have a lot of fun with these.
I know, and yeah. Okay, so then here's some more daytime testing. Again with the OnePlus 12 as well, and that's how my daughter
Skipping
walks in
along.
front of me. She's got it down. She knew I was gonna tell her to stop there and
Stop.
wait for me to
Mm.
pass by. So now we get what the video is like when there's no subject in frame.
Hmm.
Just see if like things bounce around or
Right.
stabilization goes gaga, and then you flip her around and you have her walk towards you, so you can get some panning motion going on there. And yes, that's my daughter walking around in a sweatshirt, even though there's like a foot and a half of snow on the ground.
Girl
But
after my own heart.
anyway,
I'd be doing the same thing. Cold but
yeah.
cold.
And then we get a go into human dash cam mode. So just
Well, I feel like you've given us a good with what you've got here, giving us a good
yeah. Well,
shot of its capabilities. Okay.
here's some nighttime stuff. And again, like you can see some judder, especially around like light sources. You can see how it kind of like goes out of focus and then back
Yeah.
into focus, like with the footsteps. So I was kind of hoping that you wouldn't get that just because these are mounted on my face, but whatever. And then
Still, you can see, like, imagine these 5 years ago.
Oh yeah. Oh
This
yeah. These would have
experience
been.
would have been like almost unusable.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
really like I think the tech is finally caught up to the idea of smart glasses. This is cool.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, some of this is actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
Still a lot of grain in the nighttime sky, but and I noticed that in the OnePlus video that I shot in the car, there was a lot
Mhm.
of grain in the darker areas, but that's
Yeah.
fine. I think that is the last video that I
Okay.
had to show, so we can go ahead and close that off. So, final verdict. I would say at $300. If you're an Instagrammer, if you're like
Yeah.
heavily into Instagram, then this is probably an easy buy. If you're not,
Mhm.
probably a little bit harder to justify, but all the same, I would say now that I've worn them and had a chance to use them, yeah, I would probably go ahead and drop $300 for these because they are fun. Now, I will probably use them as a camera. I probably won't use them much as like an
Right.
audio glasses or something like that. This will just be a tool in my camera arsenal, basically. So but I think that's good. I think that's a pretty good way to do it. I would like to see longer than 1 minute videos. Because I had to actually shoot the 1+12 video like 3 or 4 times because I kept running out of time. By the
I was just thinking if you had those plus if you were also using your smartphone, like I'm thinking about doing an interview, right, with somebody. It's a sit down interview.
Mhm.
You got your glasses rolling, then you've got your smartphone on with like a shotgun mic, one of those little USB-C
Yeah.
ones, and then you're flipping between different views when you're actually editing it. That would be a cool like second or third um way to use video, just to have like
Right.
the interviewer's perspective, and it's just it just opens up some possibilities. And when if you're
Ye
a content creator for
Oh, yeah,
adding that
creatively
adding
speaking, yeah. Yeah, it would be very cool. The only other thing I thought of something. I thought of something. Oh, the other thing that is a little bit hard to get used to is I don't know if you noticed, but during the 1+12 video, I had a lot of like I'm gonna just demonstrate it with my webcam. I had a lot of this. Like I was kind of cutting off the bottom of the phone because I wasn't looking like that at the
Right,
phone.
right.
So like when I'm looking at a phone, it can be down here, while the glasses are pointing off this way, my eyes are looking down here. So I just need to be more mindful to like have it like, squared up
Mm,
in the frame. But I mean, that's a live and learn kind of
getting
situation.
used to the tool you're using.
Yeah, in terms of battery life, I haven't really pushed these all that much yet. Like, I wish I'd had these when I went to that Green Day concert that we talked about at
Mhm.
CES because man, these would have been awesome for that. But yeah, in terms of battery life, I'm told about you can reasonably expect about 5 to 6 hours, and I'm assuming that's with like a fair amount of video capture and photo capture and stuff like that. So 5 to 6 hours isn't bad considering the size of
No.
the chassis that you're dealing with. And the case, which we actually never showed off, sorry
Right.
about that. The case is actually how you charge these. You actually kind of slot them in like so, and then you can
Huh.
see it lights up and
No,
it's
what's
ready to
cool
go.
about that is because I
And I'm going
years
to bring
ago.
Skippy back real quick just so we can
Okay.
take a look at this mechanism here.
I owned a pair of Ray-Ban Wayfarers that unfortunately I lost, but that case looks like so it's still like it has that whole like Ray-Ban aesthetic the whole way through,
Oh
even the
yeah,
charging
yeah.
case. That's cool.
Yeah, USB-C button on the bottom, reset button on the back. But there's two two copper
Pogo
points
pins.
here, pogo pins. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. And there's two pogo pins here,
Oh,
and
okay.
so when you put these in, you just kind of slot them in, and they kind of snap down because this little earpiece thing grabs onto the earpiece and slots them down, and then the light comes on to let you know that they're charging them. So the case itself is a little bit on the bulky side, but
Right. Right. It's
it's
gotta
a
have a
glass
battery in
case.
it, so
And like just for comparison, this is a glass case from another set of smart glasses that I have. So I mean, it's not too bad, like in terms of size. So yeah. Like I said, for $300, good. They're a good buy. as long as you're like a creator, as long as you're somebody who's like, going to really put these things through their paces. If you're just like a casual user, it's maybe a little bit harder to justify. I like the transition lenses; those have been a little game changing for me. But
I think one of
the
thing we could address really quickly is the fact that this is something that goes back all the way to Google Glass, right? And that's, I know a lot of people are concerned about privacy in terms of like not knowing that you're taking video, you're taking photos, and I mean it's got that LED up there in the corner that lets you know when you're recording. So
it does, and if you cover it up, it tells you to uncover it. So like I think it's over here. So if I do, so I took a picture. Let me make sure I'm shooting a video. Oh, you know what? I'm covering the wrong side. Ha! I'm an idiot. Never mind. All right, hang on. All right, let me try now. I'm covering the correct side. So, okay.
Oh, you can. I heard it actually.
So you can here. Let me do that again, so you can really get a good. No, okay. Maybe I'm not covering it. Hang on.
The capture LED is blocked.
Yeah.
Unlock the front of the glasses to use the camera.
So that's if you try to cover it up, it says, yeah.
You're gonna look really awkward if you're trying to cover it. You're just walking around.
Well, I mean, but you could like take a piece of black tape and stick it up there,
yeah, that's true.
And so I was just doing that for demonstration purposes. That's not like,
Yeah,
hey, how you doing, buddy? I haven't seen you in a while.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. So if you try to do that with the LED blocked, it won't let you take the picture, which is a good security measure.
Right.
So, but yeah. So I think that's probably just gonna do it for this episode of the podcast. Please consider subscribing to this podcast if you enjoyed it, and if you really enjoyed it, hit that subscribe button, smash that bell. Comment down below, hit a thumbs up, do the like thing. What are people supposed to do on YouTube? You know what you're supposed to do.
Smash that bell, like and subscribe.
Just do it. Like, subscribe, all that things. And if you want some early access, jump onto Patreon, patreon.com/benefit of the Doud. I would like to thank co-producer Cliff for all of his hard work behind the scenes and for coming down and talking to me about the Meta Ray-Ban smart glasses. But most of all, and as always, I would like to thank you for listening and for giving us the benefit of the Doud.